Hey y'all, welcome to the fight here. Got Chris with me,
Hey y'all.
and we are looking at the sundial. Just earlier today, as I was coming from Bentry, which is over in that direction, I noticed this gear right here that was laying on the ground, and it reminded me of something I had been working on, and that was understanding the relationship between the clocks that we have on the wall, the analog clocks that we have on the wall, and the celestial clock.
Right.
And what I've been trying to understand is, um, was there a gear that was missing? Was there a gear that's missing from this clock? Um, and so I prayed about it, asked you guys to pray about it, and we went in there and jumped on it. Clarissa, if you would you put it? Matter of fact, let me show this up here. Let me say where you at. I'll try to show my little notes here where we started from. Over to the side over here. I'll just here, and then you can look at it. So it kind of starts up in here where you have the missing gear, and there's the date and the time that we started this. Hopefully this is one of the last times we'll write it like this. Chris, you could use the thing to hold it on to brace it so that you get a better shot or something like that. But that date says 2022 at January the 11th at 12:21 this afternoon is when we started this. Um, with the title "Missing Gear," and it ended up being our clock is missing a gear, and so the way it works is you have a lunation, which is 29.54 days repeating. And Chris, you say that's what?
6 divided by 11. Mm-hmm.
What does it work out to? 11. Oh, you said 5 4 days. 5 4. The 0.54.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. 5.54. Yeah. Get that straight. So what that equates to is 65 minutes. Every time the clock moves 65 minutes, it's equivalent to 29.54 suns, right?
Right.
And I call it suns instead of days, um, just to keep down the confusion. So you have, when you see 364 suns, that equals 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you're starting this and you are looking at it on a clock, so you would first start with your clock here. This would actually be the beginning of the clock because it's the evening. E is for evening.
Right.
And that's when the clock starts. And of course, it's going clockwise because otherwise you would have to change all of the clocks in the world to go a different way.
Right.
So that's why you start right here in the evening. And because the first thing you're going to do is go into the nighttime, right?
Right.
And that takes you here into the nighttime. And then as you are going around, you could back up if you want to. Back up to where we was talking about. Back on the bucket where you were. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so back, so you have the evening here, and then as the clock is, so it's going around to the evening, and then it comes around to um, morning. That's morning when the sun is in the east.
Right.
See, over here, the sun is in the west, right?
Mm-hmm.
And over here, so you could have put, like that. It probably would have been less confusing if you put east and west. But this is morning. M is for morning. Or you can just flip it upside down.
Right.
Yeah. And then that's how the English language works. It's little tricks like that. That's why I don't trust it. I don't trust any language except Hebrew, but because they do stuff. Just flipping that letter, you just turn this from man's to the fathers. Where you think, well, is that what they did at first? Or they flipped it? But anyway, so then you have the morning, and then you come around to the noon, and then you're back at evening, right?
Yeah.
So this is the way the clock works. But turns out this is also the way the celestial clock works.
Yeah.
You believe you can? You say, yeah. You believe you can explain it?
Um.
The relationship between the celestial clock and the clock everybody has on their wall. Everybody has this clock. They got it from Walmart on their wall. It costs, less than $20.
Mhm.
And a lot of us got old broken ones that we would be glad to go, open them up and see how they work and do all it is, you know, because you tell them how they're going to change their clock into a celestial clock.
Well, in order to do that, you would take it apart and either put in a new chip to slow it down and maybe switch some of the gears around, but you're trying to make it so that it's around about 60 every 60 times that the hour hand goes a full revolution. The moon hand would go by one revolution.
All right, say that again.
You
You
would
right here?
you would be trying to make it so that every time the hour hand goes around 60 revolutions, the moon hand would go around one revolution.
No, not 60 to not one revolution, but it would go 5 minutes. It's like the clock. Okay. So if I can, we'll see if we could do this. Okay. So let me get that down. All right. There. All right. This clock right now is saying what time?
That would be 2:10.
2:10. Okay. So on a celestial clock, that would actually be the second month.
Mm-hmm.
That's the second month. Here, it will look like this. It's kind of fuzzy, like because there's actually no straight lines on our in anything in nature. There's no straight lines or perfect circles. Nowhere in nature do you find a straight line or a perfect circle. So there is a little bit fuzzy, like it says 29.54 repeating days. But that right there, when these two things line up, every month we begin a new lunation. Now, we said at 2 o'clock is like this, but well, here you have both the sun and the moon lining up in that position, giving you the second month.
Right.
But the moon will continue going around, right? It's going to continue going around.
Right.
And when it comes back around, you'll find the sun will be over here in 3 o'clock and the moon will be catching up.
Right.
Right? See that?
Mm-hmm.
So you say that time right there is what?
That would be 2:15 or 3:10.
It would be 3:10.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at 3:10 right there, because at 3:15, when they perfectly line up, you will have the third month.
Right.
That's why every lunation is 65 minutes.
Right.
Because it's going to take you 65 minutes to get from here to 4 o'clock.
Right.
Or 4:20, I should say.